Hi, so this week we'll have a different kind of podcast. For those that are listening on YouTube, we're probably going to have an audio converted kind of podcast. You'll not be seeing my face as you normally do when I have a podcast because we have consistent music that is playing from the background. And I don't think my video has what it takes to actually filter out that kind of sound, but I will do an audio conversion. And thank you so much for everyone that is new to the podcast. We'll be talking about things that are not really like directed towards entertainment, but they are directed towards entertainment and actually making money online and side hustles and all of those stuff, because we probably get a lot of those stuff being spoken about by the people that are actually famous, by the people that are killing it in the industry, and by the people that we believe are killing it in the industry. Welcome to everyone that is new to the podcast, and welcome back to everyone that is a consistent listener. Thank you so much for you guys. You have been showing a lot of support, and I appreciate all of those all of those efforts. I haven't posted in a while because, as you can tell, I've had a week whereby I had a cold, and I had a really strong cold that really had me on chokehold. And I am back right now, and I'm so happy to be amongst your midst and your presence, and I really appreciate all of you. So we'll be talking about, if you don't know which other side hustles are there in South Africa, we'll be talking about AltcoinTrader, we'll be talking about YouTube, we'll be talking about Etsy, and we'll be talking about the overall way of making money, which is actually getting a job. And we'll just like dive deep into all of the stuff, break them down, and look at how all of them are building blocks to this podcast and to your success in SA. And it is relatable for other people that are listening from outside, because some of these platforms, they allow you to to use them if you're not from SA. And some include AltcoinTrader, and of course it also includes YouTube. But Etsy is a bit shaky. It doesn't really just let anyone have fun with it. Without further ado, we'll start with AltcoinTrader. So I've been doing AltcoinTrader, I think, since 2022, if not 2021. And I've been on the platform for the longest time, trust me. And I've only made the most money that I remember, or the most profit that I remember making, because it's currently there on my platform, is about more than 3k. Which is not really a good reflection, because I don't really like trade like daily traders, and I don't really focus on it as one of the things that I actually really want to do. But it did make me 3k out of nowhere, so it is a hint that some people might make money more from it if they actually focus and try to do it consistently, unlike me, your boy, that really isn't consistent with those kind of stuff. So what are the downfalls and the challenges of AltcoinTrader? Well, it's not like Forex, and it's more of a stock market. I don't think it's even more of a stock market. I think it's more of selling vegetables at the market, and just the daily pricing, and just you overstocking and getting a lot of stock. And that is something that a lot of people don't understand. I get a lot from people saying that I want to join AltcoinTrader, I want to make a lot of money. I don't think it makes you a lot of money unless you're strategic about it, and unless you have a lot of money to pour in the platform. That is what I'm saying. If you want to get a bigger share of profit, and if you want to get a lot of profit from it, then you must put a lot of money inside it. And that is the part that people don't really want, and that is the part whereby I don't advise people to do it if they are not sure that they want to do it. It is not to say that it's going to take your money, because we have this idea whereby people are saying, if you try and invest in crypto, if you try and invest in Bitcoin or any of those cryptocurrencies, then you are just gambling your money away and stuff like that. Let me tell you one thing: crypto doesn't really make your money vanish. It doesn't vanish, but it does slow you down in terms of progress, because you might make a bad trade that's going to take you maybe a year maybe months, depending on how nice the market is, for you to actually like regain that money. What do I mean about regain that money? Let's say today you decide that you want to put in 5,000 into the platform because you want to get serious money, which is probably going to be around 500 or 1,000 at most, profit that you would get from 5k, right? You put it in Bitcoin, and it so happens that Bitcoins fall in price. Your money doesn't vanish. It only vanishes if you decide to sell at a lower price than the one that you actually bought with, right? And let's make that clear. It's like you're buying tomatoes, and just the next week, the following week, it's no more business stuff. The price of tomatoes falls, maybe because there's so much supply of tomatoes, and now you decide, oh well, since it fell, I'ma sell it, at the current selling price. Was maybe you bought one tomato for 5 rand, right? And now it has fallen to 3 rands, and now you're like, okay, it's fine, I'll sell it for that 3 rands. Then you will lose that 2 rands, right? But if you wait for the price to jump back to 5 rands, then you will be selling it for 5 rands, so you won't lose anything. But then the problem with people is that they panic and they decide to say, oh well, I don't think the price of tomato has what it takes to actually bounce back. Oh, I think the price is going to drop to 2 rands, and so it's best for me to just sell it at 3 rands, and then they make that loss. So that is the whole thing, that there's a misconception whereby people think it's like forex, whereby I don't know what happens at forex, but I realized that I did a demo account for once, and I put in some of those demo coins, and then they were gone like that. I was like, no, this is not my kind of stuff, right? So yeah, it's important that I clarify that one out, but I say it stops you from making progress because you have to wait for that value to go back up to where you bought it for, which is why you should always study your markets, know what are the ranges for the coin, what does it range around. You should do a lot of background research, and when you buy, make sure that you buy at a price that you think it's not gonna fall so far from it, and that it will quickly bounce back up on it, and stuff like that. So always buy on your lows. Like whenever the crypto is very low, that's when you buy, and I'd say AltcoinTrader is legit because it also has a link with Binance, so you can really just migrate all of your coins to Binance, and then you can then trade with Binance. For those that don't know, Binance is more of like the international standard. Now you're dealing with really big coins, like you're dealing with big currencies, you're dealing with you're trading in euros, you're trading in dollars and stuff like that. So it's really helpful because you just buy stuff in rands and altcoin, right? And then you just move it to Binance, to the Binance platform, which is or has an ambassador being Cristiano Ronaldo right now. And yeah, it's pretty much a bigger platform than AltcoinTrader. So it requires a careful study of the market, but it's not a get rich quick scheme. That is what people won't tell you. It's not really a get rich quick scheme. Crypto is not. It's really not. It's all about just investing, pouring in a lot of money. Personally, the 3 coins that I'd suggest to you, I'd suggest Bitcoin, Litecoin, and I'd suggest our very own, which is the Kruger Rand, which is more of something that you're just buying as an asset. And yeah, they do give you real assets, and as you know, Kruger Rands are real assets. You can go and withdraw it, and you can have your Kruger Rand being given to you, and yeah, it's pretty much a good thing to actually buy. And I really want to own a Kruger Rand. I don't know why I'm obsessed with it, but I do want to buy a Kruger Rand, and it's really a beautiful coin, and it's beautiful. It's an investment that I so yearn to actually have as my own and stuff like that. So yeah, that is pretty much about the AltcoinTrader platform and the knowledge about crypto and stuff like that. Don't be scared. Don't really be scared. Everything that you actually get to do is It's quite much, a gambling experience. If you ask me today, if you look at my portfolio and what I've gained from altcoin trader and what I've lost from altcoin trader, I haven't lost. Well, I have assets that have depreciated their value, and I'm still waiting. For instance, I put in a lot of money on Solana, and Solana happens to have been one of the coins that have crashed and almost half of your value. So I'm holding on to those assets, about 10 of them, and I'm waiting for them to bounce back to their normal value, which is more or so 2k, which is 2000. But right now they are selling for around like 500 rands, and so yeah, it really was a really my stupid kind of investment that I did. But the good part is that I bought those coins for 600, so the difference is just 100 rands for me. And yeah, but count 10 of those 100 rands, and it's more of like 1,000 that is lower right now, and I have to wait for that 1,000 to go back up to that value, and I get back my 1,000, and then I'll sell for a bigger. I'm probably gonna hold Solanas as well as Litecoins. I want to hold Litecoins, and yeah, I want to keep them as my assets, as well as the Kruger Rand. Of course, I really love the Kruger Rand. I'm a big fan. But yes, that is it. And then there is easy equities that a lot of people don't like, and I also have fallen out of favor with the platform, basically because you don't get responses, you don't get anything, you don't get any kind of communication. And I just want to say, just scrape it out. Like, you'd rather like buy shares in real life than to buy them on easy equities. And that is really not to like hate on the platform, but I was a big fan at some point, and I realized that no, man, they don't really like listen to their customers. So I would really like, and I'm being honest, I would really like cancel out easy equities as part of my plans. But I do have an investment that I put onto easy equities, and I put in something like 5k, and that 5k is just like sitting there. I'm not gonna withdraw anything like that. I bought shares, bought a lot of shares. And for those that don't know what easy equities is, it's basically like some sort of like an entry level into buying shares, just to have yourself like wrapped around the thing of just like having a share of a company. And basically the ones that I aimed for when I was getting onto easy equities were the ones that really have like dividends. And for those that don't know what a dividend is like getting a portion of whatever that company makes as profit. And so yeah, not really like just having your value of your share going up, but as really as like also having like the profit share. And those that I have is Say So. I also have a share with Clicks, and I also have a share with Capitec. And yeah, so it's basically good. I'm getting those shares, those dividends, as well as with this deal. And yeah, a lot. Others, they don't give like dividends, stuff like the Purple Group. I also have shares there, and Steinhoff. And sadly, Steinhoff has been singing, and at that time when I bought them, they were not singing. So it's crazy. It's a daily struggle. But the good thing is that it's justifiable, because everywhere every share is probably stinging right now, and no one wants to buy any of those shares right now, because just the market is in recession, right? And that's okay. That's something we are all going through. We're hoping that it's going to go back up, which is good for you guys, because this is the time whereby you guys should be buying a lot, and acquire a lot of these assets, because we are on our really low, and it works if you buy right now. So right now it's buying season for you guys. Just pumping a lot of money, pumping in a lot of money, and just pour it in onto those platforms. Which is why I say it is very important not to ever quit a job, especially if it's your first job and you don't have any money in your reserves. So just work. A lot of people will tell you, oh, you shouldn't work, you should follow your dreams. That is a really stinking way of actually advising you, and it's not gonna take you anywhere, and it's probably gonna deflate you. Like, you're gonna be fighting for something so hard, on an empty stomach. And when you realize that you're hungry and it's not helping to follow your dreams, you're gonna give up on your dreams and you're gonna say, well, I tried this thing of just like following my dreams and it doesn't work, so I'm just gonna go and sell my soul to someone who's gonna probably give me like 5k per month for the rest of my life, because I don't think it's possible to do anything on my side, which is a really bad way of thinking, but it's justifiable because a lot of people think, if you follow your dreams, then you're not gonna make anything. It's really hard, but the reason why it's really hard, you can't think, you can't explore, is because you don't have some salary to keep you going, to be paying your bills and be allowing you to only worry about how you gonna grow that money, other than worrying how am I gonna get the next food, the next snack, the next clothing, the next warmth and stuff like that for my family. And so yeah, it is a pretty much downfall. A lot of people don't tell you it's important to have a big salary whilst you're just like trying your dreams as well. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy, especially if you have a job, because you can be flagged easily for moonlighting and stuff like that. But if you're careful about it, if you know how to roam around, if you know how to discipline yourself, if you know how to get home and get busy, and yeah, you're pretty much not gonna have a life. For instance, I subscribe for Netflix. I never watched that thing, and I don't have any social life outside of the people that I actually work with. Like those are the ones like I meet the next day, speak to. I don't really speak to to them after work, because after work is just me exploring my options, like really working hard on my next move, my next goals. And it's less about me like trying to like be there and talk to people and every day. And I wasn't like this, but I realized that it's important to not really make people your priority. Yeah, I learned the hard way. I had a girlfriend that I really was taking care of. Like, I remember when she was going to school, I even bought her clothes. I even like organized for her transport and stuff like that. And as soon as she reached school, she started being friends with some dude. And then I don't know what happened, but they had a picture that they posted, and it was all so cozy, bro. And when I spoke about it, she told me that that is one dude that has always been there for her ever since she arrived there. But I'm like, I put in a lot of mine. It was there for you. I never got to be on your status or any of your posts. Then I realized that it's not really important to make social life your priority, but it is also important to know how to socialize, because you're gonna need to have that one person. For me, it's gonna be the woman that I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. You need that person to be happy as well, and just to balance your life. But it's not really a time for you to worry about balancing your life. For now, your time is to really focus on making money, on becoming a better person, making sure that you don't become what you were when you're growing up. The struggles that you faced when you're growing up were grooming you for the next chapter, for you to grow and become the next kind of person that you're destined to be. So yeah, it is really important to never quit a job. Please, 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 please don't quit a job unless you have a lot of money that's already flowing right now, and stuff like that. And a platform that a lot of people actually recommend for people to actually try, your celebrities, your people on YouTube that you watch, they all recommend that you do YouTube, right? And that you also do podcasting, maybe on Spotify, maybe on Apple, but none of those things are easy. None of those things are a walk in the park. And someone might say, okay, maybe you're really just like being a party pooper right now. You're trying to bring me down. I'm so optimistic. You're trying to bring me down. But I've been on YouTube since 2017. I'm not lying to you. I've been on YouTube for 5 years right now, right? It's been 5 years since I've been on YouTube, and it hasn't been an easy ride for me. I remember at first, like, I was going so well. Like, I was at the period whereby people were starting, people like Tato Ramped and all of the likes, they were starting. I was so close with a lot of people. I was close with Tato Ramped and all the likes, on WhatsApp and stuff, but I never got a feature. And I remember people actually like asking him to actually do a collab with me, and he just smiled, and I was like, okay, It's okay. And basically, it's really difficult to be on YouTube if you do not have money. That is something I always say. Like all the vlogs, all the travel vlogs, all the features, all the collabos, they need you to have money. If you don't have money, YouTube is not gonna work for you. And basically because people just love watching someone that looks glamorous, that looks like an ideal person to actually like follow. So it really requires you to have money to also be on YouTube and to make it on YouTube. I did, find a way around it. I did just like do reaction videos. I pretty much did vlogs for one or two times, and all of them are watched. Like I don't want to lie, vlogs are things that people really love. All of my vlogs have more than 1K views. Like some even have like 5K views and more, because people really love travel vlogs and just like going around, showing them. I was in Ghana. I was lucky to be in Ghana, so I have vlogs that are transitioning from my country to Ghana. And people really just like loved to watch that journey and to see how it is to be in West Africa and stuff like that. So it was pretty much a fair thing, like God gave me on my side, I guess. He just like was like, okay, this is something that you can maybe showcase and stuff like that. But as soon as I discovered reactions, I realized that this is something that I could do, once sitting down and just like, not really like wasting a lot of money on it. It doesn't require a lot of input, except that I need to have a stable internet connection, and I also need to have a good ring light, and I also need to have a good like camera or phone. I use my phone right now, which is an iPhone 6, which pretty much tells you that you can start with whatever that you have, right? So yeah, I did those reaction, and one thing that people will not tell you is that the fan base in SA is very, very brutal, especially on YouTube. It's very brutal. They will hate you for literally nothing. I literally have someone every day that comments for ask those people I react to actually take my channel down every day. They always they post that comments every day. I've also like had to like ban them from actually like commenting, and I don't really like doing that, because I like getting feedback from the people I watch, because they help me elevate, they help me grow to the next level. But there's so much hate on YouTube, so much hate. I don't know about TikTok. I haven't gotten a lot of hate on TikTok because I don't post a lot of times on TikTok. But I realize that on TikTok there's always someone that's gonna like your content, just the same way on YouTube. But on TikTok it's faster for those people to find you. But on YouTube, it's faster for the ones that are gonna hate you to find you, and they're gonna do that pretty much every time they see your video when you're starting. I always say that it's like having someone coming and talk in front of you, and you don't know the person in real life. You're probably gonna be like, oh well, what does he think he knows? Who does he think he is? All of those stuff. So I always say that I'm gonna keep talking, I'm gonna keep being there until you learn about me and until you like me. And that's why I say, like, when you're doing YouTube, you should have that mindset. You're probably on someone's screen, right? They paid for that data, they paid for that, they have a right to complain about their time and stuff like that. But I believe that with time, they will know that this is the kind of person you are. You're not really shakeable, and they'll start finding like things to like about you, which is what I would give you as an advice on YouTube. Keep on posting, pay less attention to what people are saying, and more attention to, are you getting more watch time, like hours? Like, are people staying more watching your video? Because if they're still not staying more in your video, then you need to change your approach. You need to probably like start engaging with whatever evil feedback that you get, because sometimes people will give you feedback in a brutal way. And I once got that, and my response to it was like, are you planning to stay, or are you just saying it because you want to pass? Because if you want to pass, that's okay. I would advise you to do that passing, because what is important to me is that you get the best experience with your data whilst you're online. But if you're really like planning to stay, then how do you suggest we improve? What do you think we should do to actually like increase your enjoyability, your stay,
for you to have a good stay on my YouTube. And people will give you, like, they will be feisty at first, but then they'll realize that you're actually a cool person, a nice person. They'll give you the feedback that you need, and then you will work on becoming a greater person and becoming a better YouTuber and stuff like that. And I say this, like, always try to watch. Your watch time hour is going to judge you. It's going to tell you, are people actually enjoying it, because someone might just like troll, and you see your watch time hour like around 2 minutes, around 3 minutes, which is, I just started like clogging into 3 minutes. For the longest time I've been holding about 2 minutes and stuff, and so I clogged in on 3 minutes and 4 minutes right now, and sometimes I have 5 minutes, which is really great. To actually like have someone like watching you for like 3 minutes or 2 minutes. It's really great because they have a lot of options on the internet, and they can easily get distracted and try and pick on these bigger YouTubers that are really doing great. And so if they decide to spend time on your stuff, it means they actually enjoy your stuff, and that is your greatest charge. Like, that is your greatest charge that you should pay attention to and stuff like that. So yeah, I always say, like, you're gonna get a lot of hate because people see you for the first time. They're like, why is this person getting views when they're not really doing much, when we really don't know who they are, stuff like that. And so their first instinct, especially in South Africa, is to bring you down immediately, to say all this bad stuff, all this harsh stuff about you. And I remember, because I was there when the journey of Slick Talk started, like when people really hated Slick Talk. So I saw that hate transition into love. So I know that, eventually people are gonna love you for being you, for showing your mind and your thoughts. There's always someone that's gonna love what you're doing, and eventually it's gonna be good. But if it does push you into a depression corner, I have just something a little bit that I prepared for it as well, and the power of reading the Bible. And yeah, I remember I was once in a window that I was really depressed, and I was going through a lot, and it was difficult for me, especially because like I just like quit my job, whereby I was like always emotionally frustrated, mentally frustrated by the people I was working with, especially because like I was working so hard. Like, I dedicated my entire my entire existence to that company to actually help it become something, and I never really got any appreciation, but the only thing that I got was criticism, always, all the time. So I left that company. I was like, I'm gonna bow out. Spoke to God. I'm someone who is really a firm believer, so I spoke to God. I was like, I'm done, Lord. I'm done. Father, I tried. I tried giving it all. And you say that if I worked hard and if I dedicated myself, that it's justified for me to leave. Father, it's time for me to actually leave right now. So I laughed, man. And to me, he had said that you're gonna see, what's gonna happen, because you put on your work, they're not gonna get away with it, which is something that, I think I read in Colossians as well, and it was speaking about how, those that deserve their punishment, they will get their punishment. They must not think they won't get it, but they will. And they did get their punishment, which is why I say it's very, 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 very bad, for someone to mistreat someone that is a real believer. There's so much danger. It's so dangerous because, when I walked away, a lot of people started walking away one by one. All the good people that were working hard, they left one by one. And the company sinks. And now it's sinking to a level of liquidating right now. Like, they are about to shut down. And they've literally just not been buying any more stock, and just running to finish all of that stock and stuff like that. So you realize that God does get angry, and he does revenge, and yeah, that is why you don't have to revenge yourself. Just keep on that good work, keep on working hard, stuff like that. I jumped ships, but I realized that, man, even in jumping ships, I landed in a place whereby I realized that so much division as well. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Is God gonna teach them another lesson? We will never know. We'll see what happens and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really important to read the Bible. I don't know how. I didn't know the effect at first. I still don't know the effect at first, but I think it's God, right? you just feel better when reading the Bible, and your spiritual being, your emotional being becomes more stronger, and you don't think about a lot of bad stuff. And so what I did to get over depression was to go for runs. Like I go for a run for like 10 kilometers minimum, like all the time, and just like sit down under a tree or under a shade, like whatever I get, and then I just read the Bible. And when I read the Bible, I always, I started hearing the voice of God more often. Like I started hearing, directed verses. I started reading like directed verses. Okay, I never skip verses. Like I read like from first book up until the Bible. Like I read it just like that. But you realize that as you read, there's more words that are like specific to you and really important to you and stuff like that. And so yeah, I say read the Bible. Like it will make you feel better. Like you'll not see it, but you realize like after a few months and stuff, you're like, oh well, what used to make me sad doesn't make me sad anymore. What used to make me struggle doesn't make me struggle anymore. I feel better. I feel more happy. I feel more spiritually fulfilled. And one thing is that you will feel God's voice all the time. Like you'll just like be having those, and you'll be thinking, oh well, thank you, Father, for speaking to me. Oh, this is what you want, Father. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do that. Stuff like that. You realize that more and more and more. Like you change from thinking these are my thoughts to thinking, okay, this is this is what the Lord wants. I'll give you an example of my latest encounter with God's voice. That is not really like my latest encounter, because He just spoke to me like directly during the day today, and He keeps speaking to me consistently every day, which is probably why I'm no longer bored or sad anymore or anything like that. I just know that He's in control and He's doing everything. But I'll just give you the most relevant one. He was spoke about me. He said to me, son, record a video today and post it on YouTube, because if you don't record, you might be struggling for the next few days, and you might not really have what it takes to post. So I suggest that you post today, and so that your people that have subscribed, that love your content, don't have a too long window of not having your content. And I was like, I'm probably gonna record tomorrow, Father. So let me just like head on to bed. I kid you not, I woke up at like midnight, and I felt like the need to record. That voice was so loud. Record. I woke up, I recorded that video, I posted it, and I published the next day. And when I published it the next day, I started getting this terrible cold, which is still around right now, and my voice vanished. Like, when you have a cold and the voice vanishes, I had the same encounter, I have the same experience. It vanished, and it vanished for like the next week. Like, it was like 2, 3, or 4 days. My voice is just like struggling. I'm like, whoa, if I hadn't listened, I wouldn't be able to actually record a video. But now I had videos that I actually recorded, and I was posting consistently, and people were getting the content that they wanted, and they had the best perfect voice, because I was well at that time. And right now I'm still like shaky, but I'm back. I also had a video that I was posting. If you want to check it out, you can check it out. Your friend Sula, I'm available. I do reactions. Yeah, and basically it's more of like couples loyalty tests and stuff. I react to those kind of stuff. If you love this kind of stuff, you can check out your friend Sula on YouTube and stuff like that. But with that said, this is the end of today's episode. Thank you so much to everyone that has listened. I hope you picked a bone. I hope you picked 1 or 2 things, and stuff like that. But it do require you. It does requires you to be disciplined when you're gonna do this kind of side hustles. You must know that your life is never gonna be yours anymore. Like you literally like look back and you'll be like, oh well, when was the last time I actually enjoyed to have time of my own? But you realize that if you're not recording, you're editing. If you're not editing, you're recording, and it's gonna be like that, back and back, Because if you're working a 9 to 5 job, after 5 you're gonna come back and you have to record. And when you're done recording, you realize that now you have been cooking concurrently, right? You just like been cooking on the side, and you're also recording on the side, and you realize that you're done recording, and it's like 9 or 10, p.m. and now you have to sleep. Next day you come back, you have to edit, And just like exporting the video alone sometimes takes an hour. And from an hour you have to upload it, which also might be like takes an hour. And from there you just have to put the tags, the description, and you have to publish it. And now by the time you're done, it's like 11 p.m. You have to sleep and you have to wake up the next day. So your life just like revolves around that. And for me, who actually like post every other day, like I skip one day and I post the next day, it's just like that. It's like that. Consistently, it's like that. Because I realize that as soon as you start getting views, it's important for you to be consistent, because it's like people now have you on their history, and if they have you on their history, YouTube thinks that they should see more of you. And if they see more, and if they want to see more of you, like to avoid having that gap whereby they transition to another kind of content, you need to post consistently so that they always are watching your stuff and they always get your stuff all the time. So it's important to like, once your heart, post more for people to actually like watch you more and more and more and more. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that there's something that you learned, and let me know if you want to learn more from me. I'm not really right there whereby I'm like glamorous and catchy enough for you to actually like think there's more to learn from me. But from all the struggles that I have as I grow, I hope to actually share what I've learned with you. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. And I hope these are the kind of podcasts that you love and stuff like that. Take good care of yourself. Much love.